Gotta keep with the Forgotten Realms. Yeah.
I know. I, for one, am super excited to see how Wizards is going to get me to get this, because it's obviously going to be a roaring success, just like everything they've touched lately. So I have unlimited faith in them. Not even just like unlimited faith in how good this will be.
Oh, trust me, whatever faith I had went out the door when Tasha came out.
Why? What was wrong with Tasha?
Just the alternate history or the customizable histories.
Oh, the variants. Yeah.
You don't have screw racial abilities. You can be whatever you want.
Okay, I actually love that though. That I have to fight back on, because I like the fact that it's like, oh no, I can just do whatever. Exactly. Well, fuck you. Well, I'm a human who can see in the dark or something. Like an elf.
You're weak anyway, so I really don't care if you fight back.
Okay.
No.
I mean, no, yes.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I think for me it's you have the limitations and you can build stories through the limitations, but I understand that people like the variants.
You can, but you can also create your own weaknesses. I mean, there was a game that TJ had shown me a little bit of called Open Legend, and it was cool, and what you do is you create your own strengths and your own weaknesses, so it's like they kind of cancel themselves out, and it's that sort of thing where, yeah, you can be the dude who was that now I'm recording and I don't, not that it matters, no one listens to these anyway, but Wade who would like play his Dragonborn, and just like he always wanted to be like the number one with like the numbers and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's like people will see that and like be excited about it, and it's like no one's excited about that.
Is it the same Wade I'm thinking of?
Yeah, that's why I brought him.
Mr. Bring out a note card whenever I'm casting a spell.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, he was part of our group when we first one of the first games he brought out. It's like, I'm doing an action, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. Pros.
Well, and here's the worst part is like he would bring that out. There was one time I remember it was like a Saturday one where it's like it was like a bigger one, and it's like, okay, whatever. And he's like, I use a daily action, and so he starts to read this card. And then he stops and calls himself out, and he's just like, yes, this is a speech from Braveheart. And then he continues, and it's like, no one cares. And especially if you're going to call yourself out on it, it's just like, please stop.
There are a few times that Harry and Richard almost not just pushed him out.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, those sorts of things, it's like, no. Create some weaknesses, create some flaws to your characters. It doesn't have to be all they're perfect. Yeah, they're heroes, or maybe they're not. But you can have some interesting stuff rather than just, hey, everything's perfect. Aren't I cool? It's like, no. It's like even like One Punch Man, he's like incredibly strong, but the stuff that makes him interesting is the fact that he's always bored with it. And he's always struggling to pay his bills, and like those sorts of other ridiculous things. And it's like, there you go, a big payoff there.
Rain slice of life.
Yes.
Supercalifragilistic everywhere except his halitosis.
Yeah.
So level 8.
Oh yeah.
Level 8. Anybody else want to talk about level 8?
I can keep up with some of you now. That's all.
Oh, you got
only some of us.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually took the same feat.
So I maintained still not being able to keep up with you, even had you not taken that, but you kept the same distance in between us. Actually, at level 8, do you get faster as a monk?
No.
Okay,
No,
so yeah.
My speed did not change.
But at level 9, she will.
So for now, we kept the same distance.
I mean,
But
I
it-
still
I
have
think
the key point
Yes.
expenditure that I can use to dash. But other than that,
Yeah, but you've got your action for that too. But yeah, no, absolutely.
I could
you
use
can
all
go,
the things.
you
I
can
could
go
just
3.
fucking go.
Oh,
yeah.
trust me.
I could use all. Of
I
it.
know.
I did take Inspiring Leader as a feat with
Ooh,
8. So
what does that do?
that is...
Is that the temporary hit points one?
10
10
hit
You
minutes?
points,
spend 10
baby.
minutes
There's a speech.
inspiring your companions. Choose up to 6 allies, including yourself, that can see or hear you or understand you within 30 feet. Each gain 13 temporary hit points once per short rest.
If you bring out a note card, we're going to have problems.
We just talked about
How
that.
else are you gonna be inspired?
Hey man, I like
You
note
leaving
cards.
the table?
Dolan, I remember the note cards.
I was gonna say
Knock,
Tom
knock.
remembers
Who's
my
there?
note
You're
cards.
inspired.
So
But you didn't have precursor
I
note cards.
didn't.
They were like evolving note cards. That was different.
correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I remember correctly,
And
between
they were
sessions,
spell cards before spell cards existed.
I also remember that between sessions, sometimes you would lose them and then be like, "Oh, that's right, I can cast that spell."
Right,
and then
exactly.
you'd sit there trying to make another one while we were playing. Yes, I remember this.
D&D weekends.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else level 8 before I jump into more stuff, or is that the biggest
Wait,
thing?
we're getting
that came
more
out of level
stuff?
8?
We're going up to 10?
Yeah, I don't think besides my feet, I don't think much changed. It having nothing to do with level 8, D&D Beyond changed the way I interact with my key points on my character sheet. But other than that,
Like in a good way, or like you just don't have any anymore?
no. I thought I didn't have any. I was like, where are my key points? No, now it just has a little toggle. My total key points is 8, and per short rest. And I just toggle either up or down on them, and that. Before I used
was
to have little
different?
blocks. I would fill in. Yeah,
Huh.
I had 7 blocks going across, and I would just.
Oh yeah, that's always how it was when I used it. It would always be blocks.
Now the blocks are gone.
What?
Now it's just.
Oh.
No. Like, I
Oh, that-
played
Well, I
it
wonder if
with
that's the
Gust.
update with Monk.
I played as
Well-
Gust the entire time without having that. I had what she has, where it's like the plus and minus.
Oh,
So
really?
that's weird to hear. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I did take a feat at. I took alert.
Ooh.
Is it
Nice.
Alert? What's alert do?
Oh,
Plus
you're
5
always...
plus 5 to initiative.
Ooh.
You cannot be surprised, and other creatures don't gain attacks as a result by being unseen by me.
That makes sense for your race too. That's pretty cool. It's
And-
100% rabbit.
And as a spell blade,
It's a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So are you
Oh.
a samurai too?
No, I'm just a real quick jumpy, stabby type.
Yeah, hey.
That's one will
Rogue
be.
rabbits.
As one will be. Yes.
Can't trust those fucking rabbits.
Oh, that's another thing they changed in the new. You don't have surprise condition anymore.
So you
Interesting.
can't be surprised.
No, the way that surprise works is instead of having surprise, you actually just get disadvantage on your initiative roll.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So even with plus 12 initiative, it'd still be tough.
All right. So we heard from Nim. We heard from. I apologize, Mike. What is your rabbit's name?
Merjor?
Mayor Jor.
Hey, sure.
We heard from Mayor Jor. We've heard from Sylvanas. TJ, did Morok get anything interesting?
I got new spells, and
Lots
I'm-
of them, I hear.
well, if I can spend that downtime learning all that, that's awesome.
I think for the time being, we'll say the downtime that was spent got you what you asked for.
Woo!
But if you
Yeah, then
leveled,
a lot of spells.
yes, then I was going to say so a lot of spells. Yes. He cannot cast them all at the same time, but access to them
Oh.
he does now have.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That spell looks dangerous.
That spell does look dangerous.
All of them all at once.
It's that what was it? What was the clip with like the explosion that just keeps going?
That's
That's the one.
exactly.
The Skyrim one where
Yep.
the guy just has like his spells in his hand. And it's like, that spell looks dangerous, keep away, and then he casts it. And then just like the game's breaking and it's just going like womp 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 womp.
Reed is not supposed to do that.
It sounds like the guy from Spaceballs. It's like, this spell casts the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all they cast.
Right?
So I think I'll throw it over to Chris and say, Chris, is there anything that you want to or don't want to share about Kane right now?
I'm still trying to get into D&D Beyond.
Okay. I mean, you could talk about. I mean, we've talked about this stuff for a little while now, but if you want to hold off, that's fine.
I am just going to mention that I need to find somebody named Nathan Loduke. Can't read my own handwriting.
Nathan Bidoof, got it.
Nathan.
Nathan,
On
it's
it.
Sir Nathan here. You left your keys in your ignition.
Nathan. All right.
Mr. Freely, IP Freely.
Right?
So just as a reminder for folks that were or were not around last week, I take it back, not last week, the week before, there was a battle where a CR-12 devil who had been hired by somebody to come and collect the case that you guys brought all the way from Gate Pass, invaded your home, knocked out your security forces, and you guys had a heck of a fight, but were able to delay the inevitable long enough that additional forces from the Lyceum showed up and were able to subdue Jessica. And so Jessica is, I know that I had said, what are you guys going to be working on over the next 2 days before the big concert that you've been invited to, not concert, I'm sorry, the big play that the Wayfarers are putting on, and you guys had thrown some ideas out. Before I throw it over to Kevin and Dolan to talk about what they've done for upgrades to your house. Now, how they paid for it, I don't know, but what they've done for upgrades to your house. I just want to say there is a plan to interrogate Jessica. Does anybody want to be part of that, or
Yes.
were you busy doing other things? And in order to be part of that interrogation, it's basically going to be some persuasion checks. So if anybody is interested in doing that, rather than RP the whole thing out, what I can do is just say, give me your persuasion checks, and I can kind of let you guys know what came out of it, and then whoever's there can weigh in on the results of that. Steckard, again, that's the dwarf that was in charge of security at the council meeting, at the war council meeting, was all about just destroying this devil as soon as he realized there was a devil in town. Simon was like no, we've got to question her, see if we can get some information out of her. There's that. What I'd like to do is maybe let's resolve that before we talk about houses and before I give backstory on what was discovered about the case, because that's the reason Moruk and Simon were Steckard were coming to the house to talk to everybody.
I think I don't know if anyone has any thoughts or anything like that. I'm trying to figure out ways to make money in town. And
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing Nim going, wait a minute. There's a brothel. They're making money. We could do that. We've got a house of our own. Let's just do that.
That's not a good
okay,
idea.
so all right. So Tom, you watch
I've been
Metalocalypse.
saying, let's make this make us money.
Tom, you watch Metalocalypse. There was a time where Toki said an idea, and everyone was just like, "Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea." And I was like, "Yeah, a lot of times you have bad ideas, but that one's actually really good." Like that's how I feel right now. I totally am embodying Murderface. Just
I
like
can be a madam.
right? Like, and then we could have you and I be the madams, so then it's like we're untouchable, and it's like, oh, okay, yep, those two, I get it. And it's like we don't even have to, but it's like, yeah, we create that illusion. It's like, don't even. And it's just, yeah, all right, I'm all on board with this. So that's what I'm actually looking for. That's a great idea.
You know, I offer what I can. Sometimes they are successes. A lot of times they're whiffs. It is what it is.
The girls can stay in our room.
Right.
So let's do this before we die. Before we spend an entire evening discussing the
New business
possibilities
venture.
and
Let's handle
ramifications
Jessica.
of this venture. I'm not saying
We have the
no.
perfect location for this.
I'm not saying no.
Does-
It's a port town. Sailors come through all the time. There you go.
How in control of Jessica can we get?
Can we get her to the harem? 'Cause
Right,
that would be
exactly.
bigger.
Seriously.
Oh boy. Just I mean, make a persuasion check.
Not it. Not me.
All right, so Venice,
yeah.
you're getting involved with that.
All right.
intimidation.
Okay, I am.
So Venice,
Alright, intimidation?
I'm gonna say you're able to, not intimidation, persuasion, but I'm gonna say that you're able to be part of this despite a rigorous practice schedule that has been set up to get ready for this performance that you are part of.
$16. Almost got a nat 20 though on that one.
Okay.
Damn.
All
But
right. So with a 16, you're able to help Simon and the others question Jessica, and she says that if you will convince the Brotherhood of the Lyceum, the mages there that have her captive, to banish her rather than kill her, she will tell you all of the people in the city that she has charmed.
but if we banished her, wouldn't she just be able to go back to her realm and then gain power in return?
Well, so that's what's going to happen as a devil, anyways. If you kill a devil, they go back to hell, and they either come back as the same devil, very weakened, and then it takes a long time for them to regenerate, or they have to start the whole process again, where they come back as like these weird muck creatures, and then they got to work their way back up the ranks of devil trees.
Isn't that
where they are.
demons?
It's both.
That do
They kind
the
of,
muck stuff? I know they get banished and they'll go back to hell. I thought that...
I think the devils
muck
are
stuff
the weird mushy soul things is like the lowest caste of devils. The demons have a different one, I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I've got in my head right now. But either way, usually when you're sort of a high-ranking or like a specific type of devil, if you're banished or killed, banished sends you back. You can't come back for so many, whatever the time frame is.
I think it might be a year.
Maybe
That was
it's
from the Dritz books, though.
Yeah, and then, but killing them sends them back, and then they effectively incubate, and then while they're incubating to come back as themselves, they can sit there and try to hatch a plan to come back and murder you. She's she doesn't want to get killed, but she also is like, I'm happy to get out of here. Like, it's clear you're not going to get me what I want, and the only way that I can get out of my contract is if you tell me I can't come back here. So banishment works for me.
Does that cancel the contract?
It doesn't cancel the contract, but it means if she cannot come back to this place for a year, I mean, maybe the contract said within this amount of time, and so if a year goes by, then the contract's no longer void.
That works.
What's the statute of limitations on the
she-
contract?
She further explains that the reason it would be helpful to get her to tell you who she's convinced or charmed is because she's purposely told people to be hostile towards the Lyceum, and so there are people who have been very negative. You've heard about some like rabble rousing and whatnot, and that's a direct result
Influence.
of her influence in Sequin.
Will she make that pot a little bit juicier and tell us who she's fulfilling a contract for?
She smiles, of course.
Oh.
She tells you, she's like, I have no problem divulging this aspect of a contract to you. I was hired.
Hold on, wait. They didn't make an agreement yet. Just want to confirm, so people don't get mad about that. Nobody made agreements, sir, yet.
No. She's saying
she's
she has no
freely-
problem divulging.
Oh, freely, even without an agreement, she'll do that for free.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She's like unless when a contract is made, you specify silence. She has no problem sharing that information.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I mean, even that, it's still surprising that it's like she isn't necessarily held to it, but just the fact that she's willing to, even with. But yeah, no one's complaining.
She states that for the sum of 1,000 gold pieces, the Inquisitor Guthwolf sent her, along with a hat of disguise, to find you and either end you or bring the case back. To be clear, I just wanted the case. I didn't feel the need to kill all of you.
That
She
one
looked-
definitely, as she points to Savennis.
She looks at Savennis and goes,
But not
I'm
all of you."
amazed you keep getting up, but okay.
Well,
Also,
baby, you haven't seen nothing yet.
As a retcon, we were talking about this
Typical
last week,
bard.
or I think it was, as a retcon, remember everybody, when you go down, you have to make a death saving throw. We had forgotten to do that during the fight. Also, I did not intend for that fight to permanently kill anyone, but just for future, let's all try to remember.
But
We
Chris
didn't
wasn't there,
forget. They were just being healed right after, so I'm like, who cares?
So, yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that's what she provides.
So are we going to agree for the names? To banish her and not kill her?
Is that
I think it's
Is that
worth
all
it to
we-
me.
all right? That's
Yeah,
that's
if we
fine.
need anything else. I'm not the smartest person in the group, so discuss amongst yourselves.
Moruk is already back to studying, so
Yeah, Morak's like, spells!
the smartest one is gone all the time. That's like, hey Moruk, wait, what? Huh? What?
Yeah,
What?
in a book. He's at his desk right now.
Right, exactly.
So is that a yes? She says.
I guess so. I mean, I don't think there's anything where it's like, I mean, I was wondering if there was anything else that we could get or anything like that, but is there? I guess
This is a 1-year contract she had?
For that, she says, unfortunately, that I can't divulge.
Oh. Okay.
And just Kevin's character would know this, but I'm just gonna throw it back with his
face.
previous life as
Inquisitor.
as an inquisitor. I had it up. I just want to find it for a sec. Inquisitor Guswolf, also known as the Minister of Pain, he rose to infamy in the Inquisitor ranks through his talents for interrogation and torture. His use of devils to accomplish external tasks means that his name is not as well known to outsiders, but those who know of him know that he is a force to be reckoned with.
What was it? Minister of Pain?
His title was Minister of Pain, and I think at one point you got a breakdown of like the top 5 Inquisitors. You guys took one of them out, like the lowest ranking one, when you had that.
Boreas. I have his
Boreas.
blades.
Yep. Guthwolf.
I have his Wolverine claws.
Yep. Guthwolf is. I think he was like 3rd on the list, maybe. I don't have it in front of me, but.
Okay.
But the other thing to remember, and you would know this as well, and I don't know if we talked about this or not, but the higher ranking Inquisitors, like all of the artwork for them shows that they have like these bear skins on their head, like it's actually like the head of a bear. Those
Leaders
are
of the
quite
dead.
close. Those are quite potent magic items. The ones that you've fought against as far as Inquisitors thus far, they have not been. But just you would know that again, as a previous Inquisitor, that these were items that had a lot of magical potency to them, granting them boons and whatnot. So something to think about.
The demon mask that Boreas had wasn't one, right?
No, it
Like,
was
it
not.
wasn't-
That's what I
It
was
had
saying.
no
It
magic.
was a
It was
lower.
just cool.
Yeah, it was cool looking, but like the higher Inquisitors have cool looking shit that does stuff too. And if anybody's interested, remember, there is still the burning stump hand like knife that you found. If anybody wants that.
Yes. A bunch of us do, potentially. But
Burning stump knife? I don't remember that.
You guys
It's-
found in the forest, I think it was in the forest with the witches, the Hadria.
Flaming
3.
Stump Hook.
Yep,
Captain
Flaming Stump.
Hook's Captain's Hook from rescuing the creatures for the Lyceum. This was from the captain, the boat.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
It was
okay.
after you guys fought the giant jumpy
Down
spider.
like here or whatever.
I figured we would just wait till one of us lost a hand.
Right. Just the inevitable.
Yeah, we'll have this replacement hook. Well, you lost
Right.
a hand, consolation prize.
And Dolan, to answer your question, no, there
Yeah.
was there
Nothing.
was no additional things at this level.
Okay.
All right. So I think that with that, Kevin or Dolan, do you guys want me to bring everybody over to the new house map, or what do you want to do?
Oh, so nobody said anything. So we agreed to Jess's
Sorry.
demands, and she gives us the names of the people that she's charmed, so we can uncharm them.
Yes, one of them, very specifically, one of the names that she mentions you recognize as something that Figovich has been talking about. And there is a individual whose name is Pickens Frankert, who's been talking a lot of shit about the Lyceum down in the South Harbor. And that is what you guys have listed as rabble rousing.
Fucking
Okay.
Pickens.
Yeah, so if we can get all those names, then we could crush this rabble rousing case too.
Would
It sounds like the Lyceum mages are more than happy
Capable
to help
of making
quell
that
this
happen.
and like kind of like breaking
Beautiful.
the charm enchantments. They go around with like a big hand, a big beast hand, and they just slap people and it breaks them out of it. It's pretty fun.
I don't know if it's something in the air, but I'm just getting kind of a little affinity for this devil right now. I just really respected the way that she handled herself and did her work.
I mean,
She goes, I mean, I'm always happy to sign another contract.
Yeah,
Just
I
have-
think like can we get
just
your
have to-
card or
You
something?
just have to wait a little bit, especially if I'm banned.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, like, I think we could have a really nice working relationship.
She smiles. She says,
How do I get in touch with you when I need to?
She goes, well, first, let's make sure I can be banished. Second, don't worry, I can find you.
You know when I need you.
I will.
Okay.
Careless whisper
I can
starts to play in the
I can
background.
take a rejection. I can tell a rejection when I hear one. It's fine. I just flex my rear delts a little bit, and then I let them do their thing.
let them do the talking.
Yeah.
You can't have any of this.
Proceed
Yeah,
with
like,
this banishment. Away
if-
with it.
Yeah,
All right,
if that's her, you know,
It's like when you ask a girl for her number.
Right.
she gives you her arch enemy's number.
Do I speak to Rachel? Who the keeps calling here looking for Rachel? Whoa, I am sorry.
everyone.
All right, so check and check. And so let's talk about a house.
Let's go home,
You guys
guys.
want me to bring you to the
Yeah.
new house that I still have questions about payment for? All right, let's do
House. Guess what? House is paid for. We paid for it already. Now they just built it our specifications.
I just want to say I would like to have banished her.
Oh, yeah.
it. Oh, do you have access to that spell?
I do.
Oh, then, I mean, yeah. No, I don't think anybody would stand in your way to do that.
Cool.
You wanted to be the one to personally do it, like look deep into her eyes.
Right.
I feel
Hands on it.
vindicated.
Hands on, if you know what we mean.
we'll get
died in my arms tonight. Banished.
no specifically not died, but yes.
Didn't die in my arms tonight. Savannah did
That's true.
twice. All right. So can people see this new map?
It's our house,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay, I'll say it. I think it looks amazing.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone said it's
no.
house. We hate it.
It was just
Whatever.
hours
Whatever.
of long, tedious work. Kevin had to learn a whole new program to construct a building for our specifications. He had to go through every single piece of furniture by hand.
And the reaction is just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
can we
tile
agree
he
on
laid
this?
himself.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
Spit
nice.
polished the dishware.
I think the only person who gets away with this is Moruk because he walks in the house, his face is in a book, he walks in his room.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't notice anything. Just doesn't
He
know.
he just needed to know where his room was that one time, and now he doesn't look up anytime going through.
right. He's so happy it's just like kind of right at the top of the stairs, so he doesn't have to walk all the way around. He can just get right to his book and start taking his notes.
So yeah, there's rooms for everyone. Everybody, me and Nim are bunking together. We're taking one for the team. Everybody else gets your own room if you want to.
Right.
We
We had to
have-
share.
We have to share. We have a room that has 3 bunk beds, so 6 beds, and our NPC members can all bunk together because they like that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Although
And,
it's already almost full because we have NPCs. We can't get rid of them. We just
Right,
keep
exactly.
adding to it.
Just
Like, all
adding
right,
the
that's-
NPCs and putting them in the same room. So then
Right.
as you have the most access to the second floor balcony, you have 3 access points.
So you can do naked midnight songs if you so
Mhm.
choose.
Yeah, we put you on the corner so you had access for both sides. I don't even know if Sylvanus is here.
He
Okay, that
I'm
would,
here.
the bard kept requesting having access from both sides, and it was like, all right. And it's I don't know what you elves or bards are into. I don't know what kind of thing it's, this is from, but I feel like it's one of those things.
Wait.
Kevin,
this will come up.
Just remember, it's not gay if it's fey.
If you guys,
you know what? Honestly,
between balconies, it's DC 10.
You see some of those fey, and it's just like, yeah, all right.
If we what between balconies?
That explains it.
Jump between balconies,
right?
Oh.
It looks like there's gaps between some of the balconies.
No, it's not supposed to be. It's one. It's just there's no there was no way to make that happen.
Okay.
Exactly.
I was
those
like,
are just the eaves over the windows, but no, those are not separate balconies. It's one wraparound.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just was like, if we need to do this, I'm setting the DC right now. DC 10.
No, 100%. Yeah.
48.
Yeah, DC 48. You're never gonna.
I rolled a D100. It was fair.
There are
you guys could have gotten like a 2
in the house that aren't actually depicted here either.
Yes, including in the poop chute.
Yeah.
Yes. We did
plenty
definitely.
of toilets. We have 2 toilets on the second floor for anybody to use. We have a full bath downstairs next to the storage in the kitchen for anybody to use.
So good news, bad news, everybody. The coffers are now empty, and you guys are now all prostitutes to make money, so that we can build them back up. There we go.
I thought this was
consent matters. We wouldn't just declare people prostitutes, Tom. It's not that kind of game.
Right.
I thought this was a yes and. Yes, you get the house and you get the improvements.
And you get prostitutes.
Yeah,
right.
And you get to be prostitutes, yes.
He just didn't define who was the prostitutes.
Right.
I'd like you to put down your government role when you're DMing us, please.
Listen, if you guys file your taxes appropriately, Sequin will ask no questions.
Yeah, we're all prostitutes, is what you're saying. I hear that.
You
Yeah,
guys
I
are all
got it.
prostitutes. Yeah.
Right.
You don't know this, but Jessica's coming back and she's the madam. You guys are all house workers. That's what
I mean,
you
that
are.
would work too. I think
You're
she'd do a
staff.
really great job of making us money.
You guys are all
Right.
staff. I did not think that I would have to build out a rival brothel war, but sure. I mean, if that's where we're headed with this, no problem.
Hey, we got the.
I don't think there's going to be that many brothels here.
No, there's not going to be a war.
It's right, exactly. It's
gonna
it's
be
just
a
our
massacre.
brothel. It's going to be great.
Well, if I remember correctly, the last episode that everybody was here, Savenis tried to go make some moves with the
Yeah, that didn't work out so well.
and it didn't work out so well. In fact, I think now he owes a favor. In fact, is how that paid.
There's somebody who never saw my face. Yes.
He never saw your anything, and your face was disguised.
I know.
I don't know how much weight that threat carries.
Well, I mean, to be announced. To be announced. But I think
No,
you guys
we
did
know how much it is with Tom as the DM. I'm just curious as to the actual world and what could actually happen. Where it's like, oh, he saw through invisibility and disguised self. Okay, like maybe, but okay.
So the
Mostly
I think
maybe.
this house looks pretty amazing, especially the haunted bathroom. Your ensuite haunted bathroom. I think that's great.
Yes.
No, just the Spirit Guardians is in there keeping it nice and aglow so it doesn't keep us awake at night, but we can still have access to the bathroom and it be
I
like,
get it.
Our little nightlight.
yeah. Well,
Our potty
not
light.
really more like our.
Right. Depends on saying that, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea that the spirit guardian just travels through the house and periodically people wake up and it's over them. They freak out. They're like, "Jeez! Oh no, it's cool. It's that thing." Okay.
Oh, this is the good ghost that haunts
It's
the
our
house.
pet.
ghost.
It's our
Okay.
house
Alright.
pet.
Yeah.
Right.
It's our house pet. Could it take the form of a puppy
Right.
or a cat? That would be cool.
Well, we were just talking. Eric and I were just talking about Nightmare Before Christmas when we first hopped on, and maybe instead of Zero, this is like a cat ghost. So like the cat form of Zero.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I think would probably look.
Be a ghost cat or puppy or pet. Except it would be a spirit guardian.
Right.
Would probably look exactly like that. That's a
Right.
cat. It's just that's a cat ghost. It's like
It's
Yeah,
pretty
this
much
is
a
a
cat
really
face.
chubby
I'll just put
cat.
yeah,
whiskers
it's
on
just
it.
like, hey man, look at me. I'm
Yeah.
chubs.
Or it
I'm a
doesn't need to have legs. It could
I'm a
just hover. So it's
I'm a
just cat
chunky
head.
cat ghost. Yeah, scritch me good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's entirely too smiling. It's not a cat.
You could be a
What?
happy chunky cat.
My cat is definitely a smiley cat. So I feel sorry for you.
While you guys are in the house, just sort of reveling in the new structure and how cool it is, um, there's a knock on the door. If anybody wants to answer,
Oh Jesus! Check the cameras.
Who's there?
it is I. It is Vigovich.
Oh, yeah, how are his brothers?
Vigovich
Fine?
who?
Totally recovered.
Yes, Gigovich and Jigovich are fine.
Is my health back to normal?
Yes, it's been 2 days.
Okay.
But Figovich, again, we're kind of like putting a bunch of things together as far as like things that have occurred over the last like 2 days. This would probably be the morning after you guys had the fight with Jessica, and Figovich and his two brothers show up with an envelope that they hand back to you, and they say, "We are very sorry. We did not do what we said that we would do, and we need to do better. We do not feel it is right for us to have taken payment for a job that we did not do appropriately. If you see fit to continue to keep us hired, we would love to do that. But also, that lady was way out of our pay range. Just saying."
I don't know. The original contract said you could handle anything.
No, the original contract was, we'll make sure people don't break into your house, not we'll protect
Well, they
you from
broke
them.
into your house. Our
They
house.
broke into our house.
Humanoid
that's-
definitely
Okay.
came into the house
to
and said,
To
"Hi,
be-
I'm here to kill you."
to be fair, that is literally what he's saying, so it's not like he's arguing against that point. Like, if you're gonna give someone shit, make sure that it's like, no, we did the job. It's like, no, you didn't. It's like you were just hired specifically for that. He's saying, no, yeah, I know we were, and we
did not
didn't.
do
So
the
here's your
thing that
money.
we said we would do.
So it's like,
Also,
yeah.
If you, I would like to stay on, how do you say, retainer, and I will continue to, be paid, and I will tell you things. But I understand that this may have driven a wedge between us, and I don't want to, don't want to force the issue. So please, let us know, and if you still require our services, we are happy to do so at the price that we agreed upon.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it's like the price that we agreed is the issue at this point, where it's like the price that we agreed was, now it's something where it's like, yeah, no, we went to do that, and you were supposed to do that, and I was like, all right, so how do we trust going forward that price is worth it for us? Where
What
again
is the price that we agreed?
So you're
2
paying
gold?
Figovich 1 gold a day, and you're
Mhm.
paying, I believe it was 1 silver a day to the two brothers, or a silver to
two
each.
brothers.
Yeah, so each brother got a silver, so it was 2 silver.
Oh, okay.
I think that the price that we've agreed to pay is worth the services that they can offer. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't
that
remember it
devil
being
was-
silver, but
that devil was definitely not something that was easy to mess with, and I wouldn't expect these guys to be able to handle anything at that level.
yeah,
I'm
no.
Just a couple low level, like no level NPCs, and a CR12 walks in.
Exactly.
We got this.
Like they
We
don't
got
have a
this,
fucking
boss.
chance. I would like to continue to pay them at our current agreed upon price for their agreed upon services and roles. I would like Figovich to acquire maybe 3 more gentlemen to come help with the security of our house. Figovich can act as, of course, liaison for us and household manager for our agreed upon price. Do you think that would be acceptable?
So I think I have questions. I can find more men, no problem, and I don't.
Loyal men.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no one more loyal than Gigo and Jigo over here. But let me see what I can do. The
They
other
don't have
thing
to
is,
be
so
loyalist.
if we're
Just loyal.
fair enough, fair enough. If I am to be your house manager, what exactly does that entail? Right now, I'm just your information guy.
That's going to entail some added responsibility. Yeah. I'd like you to maybe hire some additional servants for the house, cooking, cleaning, some maintenance duties. Make sure that everyone's well taken care for, um, and provides decided services. I don't know. There's a list. I started it, haven't finished it yet, but
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? I will do my best to find an additional 3 people who will act as guards for your house. I don't think that will be a problem. If you indeed want me to take on more, I am open to a career change. The barding life is fun and all, but it may be time to do something a little bit more like safe and secure. But I think it would be reasonable for me to ask for a bigger paycheck than this if I'm going to be running your house and also making sure that people are doing stuff, not just collecting information. Also, I would love, a room if this is the house that I take care of. Just saying.
okay. Well, let me sleep on it. We'll discuss further. Definitely get those extra security though. And we'll put a pin in this and continue
I will
later.
do that. Oh, I also want to just I greatly appreciate the chance to redeem ourselves and be of service to you as opposed to hindering, as I feel that we did previously. But I also have information and other things for you. He goes, just as a quick reminder, things that we've discussed that maybe you have or have not decided to deal with yet. There is the Tatomancy shop. We talked about that. I think your bard friend was talking about getting some kind of tramp stamp or something. There is this rabble rouser that we just talked about. There is the matter of the goblins out in the sort of the swamplands between the swamp itself and here in Sequin. There have been a few more missing persons throughout the city that have gone. It's not alarming, but it's also slightly alarming because these are people that have lived here for quite some time. They're not refugees, and they are missing. They are gone. And then the last thing is, and he goes, "Oh, where is it?" And he reaches inside his coat and he pulls out a letter. He says, "I was given this by a young woman whose name was Kristen. Said that you would know who she was and that she wanted you to have it." And so they hand you a letter, and you immediately throw it in the fire, and we move on.
Yeah.
Thank
Who
goodness.
the
we
fuck is
put that
Kristen? This is a
fireplace
trap.
Who the fuck is Kristen? Are you Jessica again? Stab. Figovich is like, no,
Right.
no, kill Figovich. Kristen.
Well, that saves us some money.
Kristen was frequently confused as Crystal or other
Oh.
names
Yeah, by the DM.
by me. No, I was getting there. I was getting there. But yeah, Kristen has sent a note, and I should probably go to the page that has that note so I can tell you what it says.
As far as when he hands that envelope to us, with I assume the 10 gold, we'll.
The
I
envelope
agree.
contains 1 gold and 2 silver pieces because you literally paid it the day that happened. So
Well, I gave him 10 gold the day that happened.
No, they literally, that was their first night working for us.
I know. I gave him 10 gold,
so,
and I
Kevin,
said,
I
this will take
misunderstood.
care of a bunch of time.
You sent me a message about this, and I thought you gave somebody else 10 gold. Yes, in that case, then 100% they return that money.
And then we say, no, like, you can keep that,
And it will still
get on
last
it.
a bunch of time. So that buys us
Right.
10 days of Thick and Bitch. Right? Is he a gold a day?
Spigovich was a gold a day. Yes.
All right. The next thing I'm having him do is go out and find out where we can get some money. But yes, I do want to also head to. I don't know if we all need to go, but some of us check out what's going on with the goblins. I've got some ideas.
Brothel is getting put on the business ideas list.
Yes.
Put it on the whiteboard.
Oh, maybe we
it's
can
up
get.
there.
Oh my god.
I'd like to read the note from Kristen.
So the note from Kristen is written in this very flowing calligraphy, and it says, "Heroes, I hope that all is well. My father and I have found a safe place to reside and set up a new life here in Sequin. We've heard tales of all of the things that you've been doing, and as always, it seems like thanks is nothing but hollow words for what you should actually be being given for your actions.
Yeah,
The
money.
other night, well, money. Yo, Dracula, where's my fucking money?" So, still one of the funniest things I've seen. It's amazing. The other night, while I sat with my father at the hearth, staring into the flames, I had a vision. I saw a ship that seemed to be painted in red, orange, and yellow and golden flames, where a great story was being told, and all of you were there, being recognized yet again as heroes. I don't know if this has anything or any meaning to you, but I hope it serves you well. Yours, Kristen.
Does that mean anything to anybody? It doesn't mean anything to me.
I mean,
I know that this new house looks great, but I'm just gonna bring us back here.
Unbelievable. You're so jealous, Tom.
I am jealous. This is a great
Jealous
house.
of what we created.
But for the last most of the week, right here, one of your party members has been going to get ready to do a show that you've been invited to.
Ooh, it's a show.
Yeah.
You might notice it's a giant boat. Just saying.
Oh. Is it adorned in flames? Have we seen that boat before or no?
So
Maybe
Does
I
it
have.
did her description make it look like the boat we own is our boat? Let's not forget
No.
that. It's going on the business ideas. We have a boat, guys.
well, you have a
We're
boat
on
you
a
left in the
boat?
swamp, didn't you?
No, they sailed it to the harbor over here to give the animals to the guy.
Oh, there's that boat. You're right. You do have a
That's
boat.
our
I'm
boat
sorry.
with a crew.
I was thinking about the swamp canoe. That's what I was thinking about. Like,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you know that.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, I don't.
All
I don't
of
think
our
we thought that
assets.
We have everything.
I also have a giant cloak.
through. Oh,
and a wheelbarrow
Local
for some
protection.
reason.
Right.
We don't know why.
we needed that.
I just want to make
Uh,
sure it's listed in the assets to begin with.
So,
Oh, wait,
so
I'm
Venice,
only writing the business ideas, not the assets.
so Venice,
I'm
you
not the
can tell
bookkeeper. I'm
them
the
that
idea guy.
You're
The
right.
boat
Exactly.
has not been set on fire, and I think that when Sylvanas
No, it was
first,
painted in flames. Like, is the
Like a
boat
hot
that
rod
Sylvanas is going to be on, is that painted in flames?
no, it is not.
Okay.
It's
It
called
is
Poison
very
Flames.
vividly
not cool.
decorated, but it is
Oh,
not
it is.
painted
Okay.
in flames. The
Is it-
Wayfarers Guild are the owners and masters of that ship, and they are the ones who are led by, what was his name? That are led by
George.
Giorgio. Yes, the very
George.
flamboyant person that you said reminded you of your cousin, Dolan.
Oh yeah, not to trust his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That guy is the master and commander of the Wayfarers and has offered to potentially be an aid to the Lyceum's war efforts by providing free teleportation services if they can figure out how to do it without setting everybody on fire, which is something that has never happened or never been offered in the history of the Wayfarers, and they are a very
Teleportation without being set on fire.
No.
free teleportation.
You still get set on
You
fire.
still get set on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
You
Just-
just
I
don't
mean,
have
do
to
it
pay
for
for the
free.
teleportation.
Right. They're just not going to charge you for it. Well, they'll charge you for it, actually. It's not free. We still get charged. We're just allowed to also charge.
That's what made
With
that revelation
Bane.
so shocking was after everything I was talking to Savenis about, if he wanted to become a Wayfarer, that he'd have to charge people unless it was like,
His
like
party.
life saving. Well, it was only in the case of
Right.
a life saving
Mm.
event.
I
Emergency
thought you also
situation,
said it was his
yeah.
party as well. Like he could teleport his
He could
party.
teleport his party in need, but if his party was just like, we should go here now, he would charge you for it. So that's what made it so unusual that the head of the Wayfarers was like, I will not charge you at all if you can do it so we don't get set on fire, but figure it out, and I'm happy to do that, which is like, what?
Wait, does he get in trouble then?
So as the head of the Wayfarers, he can make that call. No one else can.
Oh, okay.
I think there should be a vote. Impeach that guy.
Obviously, it's not a.
Guy,
He's an
you're helping
imposter.
us out.
He's probably
Democracy.
a devil.
I just couldn't think of the word democracy.
and so I think because a lot of stuff has been going on, there is one other thing that I want to talk about. There's two other things I want to talk about. First is I want to talk about what the Regessian case unveiled. So Simon and Kiernan and Moruk and what the hell was his name? What was the kid that got knocked down?
But he got up again.
Yeah, he got knocked down. He got up again.
At the meeting.
At the meeting, remember the kid ran in to be like, "There's elves coming up the stairs," and Steckart like blasted him with like a telekinetic hand, and everybody was "Fucking kill Steckart!" Like, do we remember this? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the party immediately fell in love with Johan and hated the guy that was like, "I'm just trying to keep you safe." Yes, that.
Well, no, okay.
We do.
Everything that we've been saying too, it's like that fucking guy. Like, no, let's kill the devil, and we're just like, actually, we're gonna get involved later with this too. So no, absolutely not. We are banishing her. This works out for us anyway. But the fact that you're against it is just icing on the cake.
Kiernan, we hate you. We love to hate you. That's what we do.
Well, you're always wrong. So
your move is always the wrong move, Kiernan. All right, so basically, everybody sits down to take a look at this and start digging through it. It is written in Infernal, which is something that Moruk discovered way back when he found it, but with an incredibly difficult cipher that required a DC 26 intelligence check. What was crazy was, I think Moruk way back rolled like a 19 and got like a 20-something, and I thought he was going to crack it, and I'm like, I haven't even opened the book to figure out what this says yet. Like, it's supposed to happen later. But it was close. That's why I was like, it's an Infernal, and you realize it's a thing. But basically, they're still working on getting a cipher for all of it, but Simon and this group have been able to get some answers. And so the book was written by Creven, who is the second in command of the Regessian Inquisitors. And the documentation says that it was read and approved by someone who is immune to divinations. Simon feels that was most likely Leska herself, the woman who has sort of like taken command of Regessia with Coltung's death, or alleged death. Magic has been used to scramble the words in order to encrypt it, and Creven believed that the protection was secure that he was lax in actually making sure that the book that is written in there did not get stolen. Basically, what is detailed within is somehow tied to the Scourge, Leska's military order to capture hundreds, if not thousands, of disloyal mages. Something odd that Simon kind of realizes as he's explaining this is that Scourge may have another meaning, but he's not entirely sure what. So, like, to this point, the Scourge has been the terminology used to refer to like the rounding up of mages for some purpose, but that may mean something else based upon what the four have been able to sort of decipher at this point. Finally, everybody that's reading through this realized that Kreven, the people that were involved, Kreven, Leska, and an unknown person who was approving this that is not mentioned, were all concerned with legends surrounding something called the Trilith. And because Moruk was part of the conversation and the deciphering, I'm going to say that Moruk, did you divulge to Simon and others what you've learned far about the Trilith or not? Because Simon did not know what that was or what that referred to.
Not yet.
Okay, so as Simon reveals this to the party, does anybody speak up about the experiences that you've had with Trilith thus far?
I mean, we probably want to, right?
What the fuck was Trilith?
The Trilith were these like elemental creatures that you fought in the Fire Forest. You met two of them in the Fire Forest, and you think you met one of them in the shape of the Dark Rider that was chasing you through the gauntlet at the end of the Gate Pass.
Right. Though they, like, the spirits, like, leave them when they...
Basically it's like an
Right. I remember why I didn't pay attention as much, because it wasn't to me. So I'm not going to take notes on that. I don't know.
Hang on, I'm just scrolling down. I think you guys have it in your journal. I think I put it in your journal. I don't know. No, I showed you guys this.
That's in our brothel.
Soon.
Not yet. But the Trilith
It's one
are
of
a
the
race
higher
of
end.
Trilith are a race of dream spawn monsters
Prosthesis.
who lack bodies of their own. Every Trilith has a visual appearance that is unique to it based upon its nature. The Trilith's stats and abilities match this form, but normally a Trilith is incorporeal, so it cannot easily affect the material world. However, a Trilith can create a body for itself if it has appropriate material, and some magic can turn a Trilith corporeal. You also realize that Triliths can offer boons to people. That's what Indomitable was trying to do. They have like telepathy. They can speak in dreams. They've got a bunch of stuff going on. Some stuff you figured out. Some stuff I don't think you have yet. But does anybody share that with Simon, or do you keep that kind of on lock at the time for the time being?
It's definitely not something Nim is even thinking about, so...
Trilith, isn't that beer? No, that's Trillium. Oh, okay.
Trillian, isn't that pirate? No, that's Corellian. He died. It's not even the same universe. What are you doing?
Lilith.
Right?
But so does anybody speak? Yeah, does anybody speak about it, or do you just like, man, that's a weird term? I don't know.
Obscurity wasn't even there, so she has no idea.
That's fair. So
No, I think specifically you had like mostly Moruk dealing with it, where it's like I know he was the one for the first one.
You know what?
That
I think
was the only one who saw it.
I think our now sword spirit probably knows some stuff too, because I think she made some checks about it as well. But
well,
probably, but unfortunately, she only talks to one person.
Kane just goes, "Ask my sword."
we can't. It doesn't say anything to us. What are you doing, man?
Pull your
Can
pants
we
up.
go see that doctor now?
So no, it sounds like no.
Okay, so all right, so basically that's what Simon and others have been able to decipher thus far. He wants to continue working on it if you're willing to let him continue trying. Him and the staff at the Lyceum, Moruk as well, trying to continue to break the cipher and figure out more from it. Maybe discover who this this third unknown person is. Maybe figure out what this other meaning for the scourge is. Maybe find out more about the Trilith.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, cool. You guys.
if you need permission, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's still more to it, then yeah, let's find out all we can.
And then the two last things that I want to handle before we jump into a couple days in the future, and we start going towards when this show is going to go on. One is, we went through everybody's items and made sure everything was understood what it was. It was a couple weeks ago when we did this.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we did it. So we know what the Tide Reaver's tears are. We remember what the dream seeds are. We remember what all this stuff is, right?
Yeah, I forget who has the dream. Saventus, you have the dream seeds, right?
Dream
Okay.
seeds, yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as far as the Tide Reaver's tears, are those in a sack? Who has them?
Yeah, I've got those, I guess. I mean, I wrote them down. I don't know if people end up wanting them or whatever. We can always, whoever wants to start getting stuff. The glass spheres appear to be bloody tears. Holding the sphere, advantage on strength checks, and saving throws to swim through water. Avoid being pushed by strong winds and water. While it's activated, you likewise drip blood, which is eerie, but harmless.
Nice. It's almost as if you're reading right off a description. That's real good. That's good.
No,
Okay.
that's just what I remember of it. I don't know if there was anything else.
I don't know if you bleed while you have them, but they do bleed while you have them. So,
You likewise drip blood, which is eerie
okay.
but harmless. I think these are just. I'm pretty sure these are just items that I added. I didn't type anything myself.
All right. So
I know they're items, but like specifically, I didn't have to type anything myself.
Cool.
It's
The
just like, oh,
last
it's right
thing
there.
that I want to throw out there is that one of the things that's been happening, if anybody Discord, is Moruk has been amassing spells, lots of spells. But while Moruk was doing this, he can't help himself. But there was a book that he found at one point, a book that concerned a topic he was particularly interested in. That topic was the Shadowfell. It's a book with a black cover, a picture of this like eerie mountain fort that has like a bridge leading to it over a deep chasm. And everything is in blacks. And Moruk, you got to go back to that book. You just feel compelled to see if there's more that you can get. And do it. Do you go back to it?
Yeah.
So you go back to this book, and again, it's written, makes it difficult to understand. I forget how I described it the last time, but the thing that comes to mind right now is in the Percy Jackson movies. You know how like the words are written and then they show up in Greek and he doesn't understand them, and then he does understand them because they're in a different symbology. The book seems to shift through multiple transitions as you're reading. Like in one moment it looks like it's in common, and the next it looks like it's in a different language, and the next a different, and you're able to sort of parse some of this, and as you're digging through it this time, you see that there's a little bit of history that you're able to glean, and this book, you're still not sure what this book is. Like it had information last time that seemed to tell you specifically about the interaction of people, like on the material plane and the Shadowfell itself, and maybe some information as far as that's connected to your lineage and your and parents, like how that happened. But what you're able to figure out this time is that the earliest known conscious interaction between peoples of your world and the plane of shadow was some 9 or 10,000 years ago. Like, the Shadowfell itself has been trying to get in to the material plane thousands of years. It kind of gets a little like crispy and weird after that. You're not able to understand it, but you find out that there's some reference to something called the Onyx Tower, and in it a thing called the Onyx Heart. But there, and then it gets really like loopy again, like as far as like, was that destroyed, was it not destroyed, is my translation skills working? I should probably go back and help out with learning all my spells, or trying to translate this stupid infernal crate. What am I reading? And as you do that, you go to close the book, and on the page connected to the back, which had seemed to be stuck together, a piece of paper drops out. What do you do?
I'll grab the piece of paper.
Leave it.
Give me a Arcana check.
Burn it.
Tell me what you get.
$24.
It's a good roll. You needed a good roll. You see, it's difficult to figure out, but you see what seems to be a ritualistic illusion spell that is 4th level. Can you cast 4th level spells right now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is I will send you this, but it is a spell called Shadow Well. And it seems like there's multiple facets to this spell. But what you can do right now, if you spend a minute, is that you can make your own shadow become a temporary gateway to the Shadowfell. And you could enter it if you so choose. However, the spell as it is written, and if you look up Shadowwell, you'll see some of this is true, some of this I'm making some stuff up. But what you see is that there may be complications if you have not readied yourself to enter the Shadowfell. And as a ritual that is written down, you could bring it into one of your spell books if you so choose, or you could just maintain this piece of paper. It is not a scroll; it is the instructions for the ritual as written down. Mm-hmm. Give me one more Arcana check.
23.
The 23, you realize that much like the weapon that Kane currently wields, that seems to be growing in power as he grows in level, this ritual will do the same. As in, as you grow in levels, your connection to the Shadowfell and this Shadow Well will grant you more and more abilities. It will stay either a 4th level spell or a 4th level ritual, but that should you continue to use it as a caster grows, so too will the effects that you can do with it.
So you use the ritual?
Yeah. So or maybe it becomes a spell you can just cast and learn kind of innately. Much the same as some, like, how like the devil had Misty Step innately known, like you just use it at will. If you continue to practice with this as you level up, it may become something where it grants you further boons.
Okay, cool.
But right now, basically all it does is if you spend a minute casting it, you have a hole in the floor that opens up, provided you have a shadow, that you could step through and experience the Shadowfell if you so choose. But there are warnings as far as, strengthening yourself before you do it, because it may be difficult to return, or there may be problems while you're there.
Okay.
Okay, and so with that, unless there's anything else to go over, I want to have it fast forwarded a couple days and start the morning of the show that Venice has been practicing so hard to be part of, or rehearsing so hard to be part of.
Well, I did want Figovich to search for some stuff. Some stuff to make money, but also I wanted to check out the goblins, if we could.
What I would like to say is, we could go do that if you want to go do it, but because it is that day, like, I'm assuming that the alterations to the house, the different studies that had to go on, the interrogation of Jessica, all of this stuff basically has taken up those 2 days' time. If we want to retcon anything with regards to downtime activities making money, I'm happy to kind of do that, but for sake of this, if it is those 2 days full and today is the day of the show, the goblin thing is kind of an unfinished quest at the moment. It doesn't mean you can't get to it. I just don't think you'll be able to do it this morning, if that's okay.
Okay.
I know there's a real Kevin has a real love-hate relationship with goblins. He loves goblins, right? He hates Tinker, but that's just that is, but that's
I was gonna say, it's like, no, there's no hate, even though it's like there. Yeah. Oh, okay, excellent, well done.
Yeah,
I don't hate Tinker, but that's excellent. Sometimes.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else for folks to that we want to discuss or do before we kind of jump into this?
No, I might
Do it.
I might set up a spell that would help Sylvanas perform, but I mean, other than that, no.
Okay.
Never mind, he's on his own.
He's already doing it.
Actually, the one that I found, it's like, you touch one corpse, and it's like, that's perfect. Sylvanas is just, like, he goes up and down in Nim's book. Just like, all right, no, Sylvanas, you're a friend. And that's just like, oh my god, fucking Sylvanas. And then we need him, and then it's like, all right, Sylvanas is pretty good. Then he talks again. It's like, god damn. Sometimes he says stuff, and it's like, all right, you back up. And he keeps going.
I think the epitome of the Sylvanas experience thus far was when you found that, like, that tower in the middle of the fire forest, found some drugs, and Kristen was like, I'm gonna take drugs, and Sylvanas is like, I'll take drugs with you too, baby.
Yeah, I'm in.
I think that was the epitome of.
And then he didn't even get affected by them.
And then he didn't get them. He was like, "Oh, I'm an elf. They don't work." Yeah. All right. So, as the briefest of recaps, the heroes have been invited to a special performance at the Wayfarers Theater. This happened at the War Council the other day, and the tickets were provided directly by Giorgio himself. You guys, just because I don't think I've ever asked this question, start to get some tunes playing.
Eagle Splendor. Enhanceability.
How long does that last?
An hour.
So you guys are going to start arriving around a little bit before, and the show is set to start probably around 12:45, 1-ish kind of thing. So
You can't get me backstage? Jesus.
Well, wait for it.
As
pretty...
a hero? I mean, I'm trying to do this just kind of like right before he goes on stage sort of thing.
Oh, is there?
Just like,
so is there a range on this?
No, I meant like go and see him. It's touch.
Okay. I gotta get backstage. I gotta touch one of the players. Oh yeah, sure. They let that happen at plays. Good, just go touch the players. Let's go.
For Nim, they would.
These are the hands.
I don't think she has the commanding presence of Ziada, but she can make stuff work.
So, as you all start to arrive, basically you go over to the pier. You guys are ferried out on these long dinghies that are oared out, and there are rather than like ladders that you have to climb up, there's actually like a floating pier next to the boat that you can climb onto and then walk up a set of stairs to get onto the boat itself. Everyone is greeted by Guild Mistress Sheena Larkins. This is the one who's been basically barking orders at Savenis for the last several days to get better and better and better. She is standing under a parasol, which is being held by her ever-present bodyguard, Hawkins. As you guys arrive on the ship, you are you are ushered towards a spiral staircase that leads down. And as you go down the staircase, you find yourselves in a room that is easily 4 times as large as the space on the ship itself. The ship itself was fairly large, measuring probably, like 100, 150 foot long ship. But inside, it is enormous. In fact, the space that's inside the room that you descend into is big enough to fit several ships. The theater itself is lit by dozens of lanterns, and lenses over these lanterns focus some of the light into spotlights on stitched curtains that show patterns of yellow and red and orange flames. There are ushers who are costumed as monsters and angels that guide people to their seats, offering, if anybody is wet or damp from their excursion to the Wayfarers Theater, they will do the whole prestidigitation to dry you off. I will bring you guys to a map. That's not what I want to do at all. Let's try this. Boom. All right. Can people see the map?
Yeah.
Nice. I did it right. It's only taken like a year, but I did it right.
Hold on.
I'm
I'll
not
fix
there.
it. No, I know.
Oh, you know what? Well, that's weird because I moved you guys here early.
Right.
I'll go back.
Okay, go. I got him.
You got them? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had already had it because of the other one from Sequin.
I had moved both our Harangon friend and your spiritual ally in here. Just it was fun, and so like I had the spiritual ally like right here. That's weird that they didn't stay there. But anyways, this theater sits some 100+ people, but because you guys are still relatively unimportant, dare I say, in the current scheme of things, with regards to with regards to like ambassadors, etc. You have seats in the very back row where you can still hear the occasional rumble and crack of lightning and thunder outside, despite the fact that the hatch that is at the top of the stairwell remains closed. If I hadn't mentioned it, the rain that has been happening since you came to Sequin continues on. And so it was a slog to get here. Barely visible in the shadows cast by the lanterns everywhere in this room are relief carvings that imply countless archetypes from fiction. There are no windows in this room, and when the lights start to dim as the show is going to start getting underway, the music that starts to play seems to emanate from the walls itself. So if anybody wants to roll, like a knowledge arcana, an arcana check, maybe you can know some more.
I got a 15, but it's not showing up on the.
That's cool. All right. Anybody else make an arcana check?
Oh, I'm coming. 26.
Wow.
There you go.
All right.
Let's go
So the
roll
15 hit it, but the 26 makes me not have to make you make a check. So the 15 gives you two things. One, it is clear that the inside of this ship is under the effect of a magnificent mansion. So basically, the entrance is the hatch that leads down the stairwell. And because a magnificent mansion is an extra planar space, that's what's making this space seem so much larger. It is, in fact, larger. It's just the effects of a spell. And what's interesting about that, and this is where Orux 26 will come, is that the effects of that spell seem to be more than just one casting of Magnificent Mansion, and that the acoustics that make the sound and the music that's being played come from the very wood of the ship, is because the caulking, just like the seams and the hems of Simon's shirt that you guys observed, have been written with magical incantations and then forced into the seams between the wood, so that this whole place is magic. You are literally in a magic bubble that has been created for these effects. And to be honest, I think this is pretty badass. Like, when and if we ever go back and start playing pirates again, I'm like, I fucking want to put magic caulking on our boat and have cool shit happen. Like, that just sounds awesome. So, this extra dimensional space is where the theater actually lies. There are actually a number of unseen pathways that you guys are unaware of, but for folks that rolled high enough, specifically the 18, the 15, etc., the 20, whatever it was, you realize that magic mansions or magnificent mansions, they have several rooms, if not corridors connecting and other things. And so whoever planned this out probably has a number of spaces for people to get changed, for people to do this, for people to prepare to do whatever it needs to be, whether it's like crew sleeping or whatever it is, so that what you see is probably just one aspect of the whole of the extra dimensional space of what this ship is doing in my favorite statement is this: as vast visible space is, there is even more that lies unseen and inaccessible beyond the walls. It effectively is a permanent magical effect that once you leave the top deck, you enter into. You also, with the 26 that Morok, was it 23 or 26?
26.
26. You realize that there is one way that you could fuck this up if you wanted to. You couldn't do it entirely, but a dispel magic would have a really weird effect on this place. It would potentially, depending upon the area of effect that dispel magic had, shunt anybody in here into their same space in the material plane. That could be problematic because if that same space was in the actual boat, they could become infused with the boat and, be killed or murdered or lose a limb or whatever. But if it was outside of the boat, they could be deposited into the water directly. Just sploosh. Now you're on. But with a 26, I feel like I should tell you. As you guys settle into your seats, I didn't want to make you tiny so you could find yourselves on the map. You see that sitting in the very front row are Simon and various other dignitaries from the War Council and other people that you cross. But Katrina, as kind of part of the party, sits back with you and starts talking to you guys incessantly. It's just like, so are you guys ready for this? Do you know what this play's about? Are you aware? Do you know what who Toteth Topek is? I mean, like, and so as she's saying this, people are like turning around, going like, "Shh, it's about to start. Relax." Does anybody want to do anything? Is there anybody who's like, I'm not going to be in here? Like, so Venice, I put you kind of backstage up in the front. Just before I just
Makes
assume
sense.
things, I figured I would ask.
All right, so can I see him yet? Can I sneak over?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Like, maybe he comes out, like, he comes running back and he's, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Also, give me smells.
Everyone's like, it's like, wish me luck. No, leave.
No luck for you.
Go away. But no, I'll give him Eagle's Grace, which is advantage on charisma.
That's pretty dope.
Yes.
All right, so Venice, you come out, you get blessed with this.
Ooh, fun.
You take your spot backstage, and is anybody? What is everybody doing? I guess, like, is everybody just sort of like in your seats? Like, I know that I've got you in a bunch in the back, but I didn't want to make everybody tiny on this map. So, like, what is everybody doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just sitting in a seat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Effectively, as a reminder, this play is called The Spectacular Trial of Toteth Topek. The Wayfarer show is a visual spectacle with songs, acrobatics, and pyrotechnics, relating an old Regessian myth with a modern political twist. It is a tale drawn from and is about an ancient orc druid named Toteth Topek, who supposedly learned that the world was in danger of being torn apart at its very elemental foundations. Historically, it is a sequel of sorts to the myth of the Aquiline Heart, and is full of action, magic, betrayal, and great heroism. There are 5 acts, and there will be pauses between the acts that, like, if people want to do something or enact or like interact or do anything, I will let you know when those pauses happen. But that said, just as a reminder, the Aquiline Heart is the myth that in the beginning there were 4 primordial powers. Excuse me, sorry. I gotta pull this back up because
Let's see. I know there's dragon. Was it like hawk or something?
It was dragon,
was
eagle,
worm,
worm, and boar. And effectively, the dragon had a chance to abscond with the eagle's power by killing the eagle and eating its heart. But as soon as it killed the eagle and went to devour its heart, it realized that the other two entities would rise up to destroy it. So it hit its heart, the eagle's heart, deep in the earth and in the caves, and then sped away so that it would not be challenged or destroyed. And then the heart is what, as legend would have it, is what provided the earth with the sustenance to grow, flourish, and provide sustenance for the plants, the animals, and eventually the peoples that live on this world. And so that is in a nutshell is the myth of the Aqualung. So as you guys sit down and the curtains start to draw back and there is the lights dim, there's one more shushing to your more boisterous party member right now.
Mm-hmm.
The last lanterns
Kane?
Yeah, Kane's in the back just constantly talking to himself. It's his sword. He's talking to his sword. The last lanterns are snuffed and the curtain slowly crawls to the 40-foot high ceiling. The spotlights die, fading like the setting sun, white to orange to blood red. The drums rise to a crescendo and then silent as a man strides on stage. A spotlight snaps him into view. It is not so Venice. He hurries across the stage and casts a furtive glance to the audience. You recognize the actor under layers of magic and illusion as Giorgio. He plays the role of the ancient orc geomancer Toteth Topek, clad in a white traveling robe of ancient times. As he moves, suddenly from the shadows of the theater ceiling, a serpent dives like a pearly lightning bolt, snapping its jaws just as Toteth dives out of reach. Violin strings cry out in fright from the wall. The geomancer somersaults to his feet, pulls back a long black staff from under his robe. The snarling serpent rises into the air, snarling in rage, its tail whipping past Toteth like the trough of an iridescent wave. And just as the dragon's tail is almost out of reach, Toteth leaps up, grasps the tail in one hand, holding his long club of a staff in the other. Drums sound, horns cheer, the audience gasps. Flying through the air, Toteth clambers up the beast's back, fights off its thundering bites, digs his hand into the monster's eye, cracks out one of the dragon's teeth with a ferocious swing of his staff. Worm bucks, vanishes into the shadowed sky, and Totep flips, tumbles, and rolls 20 feet to the ground. Stones cracking where his hands strike. With this, the audience, and if you so choose, stand to applaud, and so begins the spectacular trial of Toteth Topep. So everybody, the lights dim. They come back up. Giorgio is on the stage again, singing and cartwheeling primitives, people who seem maybe less than civilized, at the far end of the world, celebrate Toteth Topek as a great hero, for he has saved the town from the dragon. The geomancer does not care. I'd like everybody to give me a perception check. Nim, do you roll perception with advantage?
No, that's just because I have Roll20 open as the GM too.
Oh, and it's doing it double. Okay.
Yeah.
So just
All my
just
advantage is just the same.
So I want to see one from Kane, if you can.
Kane doesn't see anything.
Okay. Moruk?
Oryx in his book.
That's fitting. All right.
Disadvantage.
So Nim and Obscurity, you notice that one of these primitives is Sylvanas. But don't fret. It's not his only part in this play.
Oh, good. All right, so what do you need me to roll? Performance?
No, not yet. Wait for it.
Okay.
Wait for it.
I
As they
am a
celebrate
tree.
Totec.
Wow. Put as a primitive and shot down by the director.
Right.
Well, he got shot down originally because he rolled real poorly, and then he went back for a second try. He landed a roll. He did land, or 2 rolls, as it may be. As a great hero, he saved their town from a dragon, but the Mancer doesn't care. He travels to find great magic, to find immortality. His journeys carry him to many foreign lands where he fights strange beasts, all the while pursued in the shadows by this opaline dragon. He befriends 3 mages along the way, each helping him at a different leg of his journey, with their control over flame, wind, and sea. But ultimately, Toteth travels alone into a great desert under the searing sun. Demons assault him, heat drives him mad, and he vision of the storm chaser eagle, that elemental being that sacrificed its aqua, crashing to the earth. Feathers burst across the theaters. Literally, you guys have feathers thrown in your face as they erupt everywhere.
Have they been disinfected?
You better hope so. But as they float through the air, if you reach out to grab them, they are merely illusions, part of the ongoing effect of this space.
So hypoallergenic.
Yeah. So nobody's actually going into asphyxiation. Feather.
It's faux goose down.
It's faux feathers. They're faux feathers. Yeah. As everybody kind of recovers from this and looks up, they see Totef passed out and the dragon hovering. But before it can strike, a beautiful dark-skinned woman in green robes finds Totef, falls across his body, prays for him. Light beams down from the heavens, and the dragon flees again to the shadows. As the stage fades to darkness, this woman picks up Totef, carries her to her home, and a deep, percussive thrum shakes the theater like the beating of a massive heart. As that happens, the lights come back up, and there is a 2-minute intermission, during which, if you guys want to do anything, totally do it. But Katrina is sitting there, starts going, "Oh boy, I guess we're just going with politics over drama tonight." Do you guys get it? I mean, do you get it?
No.
Well, you see, clearly the dragon is Regesia, the air mage is Ostel, the fire mage is Dason, the water mage is Shalesti, and Toteth, an earth mage, is Sindare. The woman in green is meant to represent Sequin, coming to aid Dason. The elements are all chosen. They're fairly common motifs for all of the nations in the region. And the original myth says only that there were 4 mages who helped Totef. The costume choices, the colors, all of this is clearly propaganda to show the nations under attack working against Rechesia. I mean, it's like right there. Like I don't know if you've ever gone to see like an art house film, and then there's some asshole that talks through all of it, telling you about all of the nuances that if you were into like filmology you would know. That's what Katrina has turned into in this moment.
Thank you
Cool.
for that explanation.
She smiles and she says, "No problem. It's just sometimes theater can be so blasé. Although I do have to say, their theatrics so far have been awesome. I do like what they're doing. It's just their message is a little. So, with that, does anybody else need to do anything else, or everybody good to continue?
No, unless it's something where it's like refresh the charisma if there was any moment.
I'm gonna say that like an hour hasn't gone by, so like it's
Okay.
still there. It's okay.
How long is the intermission?
It's only a few minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm good then.
Okay. Again, lights go down. Curtain comes up. Giorgio is on stage. As Toteth, he wakes in fits. Light and dark represent many passing months as the woman who rescued him tends to him. As he heals, a romance forms between them. And the healing montage ends with a flamboyant love song and mock battle between Toteth and his love-in-laws so that he can marry her. During this battle, you see a familiar face appear. So Venice, you
Yes.
represent Toteth's potential future father-in-law. I need a
Nice.
performance check.
With advantage,
With
I
advantage.
believe.
Bet your ass.
Good.
Bitch your ass.
There we go. 18.
Okay. Your battle with Toteth, Giorgio, the head of the Wayfarers and the lead actor of this guild, goes off without a hitch. However, your battle, as was planned, is interrupted at the funniest moment by a tremor. People in the audience actually cringe in fear as the stage seems to crack and intense winds blows out of the deep. And with that, I would like you to tell me how your character responds. Do you scream? Do you laugh? Do you pee your pants? What do you do?
They're not all mutually exclusive.
You could do all of the above, of course. There's always, the last one.
I would laugh. A deep bellowing laugh.
Do you say anything?
No. Just laugh out loud. In a very deep, slow manner.
I do that little half snort, coming awake and kind of drifting off again.
There's like the bubble coming out of your nose, like the anime sleep. Like
Both
snap
nostrils.
Both
Both
nostrils. Not one, but
nostrils.
both. All right. However, so Venice, your performance is appreciated by the crowd, and you do hear some slight claps, and you feel very positively that at the end of the show, if invited for that curtain bow, you will be in fact celebrated after this. Toteth,
Most
however,
excellent.
as the wind blows out of the deep crevice, realizes that the world is still in danger, and he recalls the vision that he had of the eagle. He sets out to find a way to save the woman he loves. He leaves her behind, not realizing that she is pregnant. Another montage showcases his incredible faces, riddling fairies, giant spiders, cursed pyres filled with evil spirits, to find a gem that can seal the world. Interspersed during the Odyssey are images of his love, growing slowly more pregnant until finally she gives birth. When she does, she is visited by the other 3 mages who aided Toteth in Act 1, and they bless the child, swearing to go join the Geomancer's quest so that he can come home. They travel through the aftermath of the various monsters and challenges that Toteth has defeated. The ease of their journey, a humorous counterpoint to the Geomancers. But then they find him and see him standing atop a shining peak, fighting the dragon of bright shadows. Toteth holds the gem high, trying to capture the dragon's soul so that he can take its power to heal the world. But the dragon is stronger. It bites him in half, and the stage goes dark. As it goes dark, the only thing left visible is the gem he was clutching, which falls some 40 feet to the stage floor and shatters. The sound reverberates as total darkness falls, and then the lights of another intermission. As the lights start to come up, Katrina goes, I mean, you guys know what happens next, right? Like, Toteth is trapped by the spirit of the mountain, but the others don't realize the significance of what they saw, so they try to track down and kill a dragon. Dragon kills them, and then it seems like the whole thing is tragedy, but at the end, his daughter, Eshu, grows into womanhood, and she vows to destroy the dragon and complete her father's work. You guys know this, right?
I haven't seen this one.
Like, there are several people that are in front and around Katrina that are just like, you fucking serious? Like, shut up! Stop destroying this! She's like, whatever.
Snot bubbles.
I'm not really feeling like Katrina is destroying anything. I actually think that her information is quite insightful. And all of this information would have gone entirely over my head had she not said it.
Yeah.
Who would have
Although
known?
I don't know if it's correct and if she's just being obnoxious, but you know, right.
Who would have known? Obscurity's one weakness? Plays.
All right.
Who would have known? Who would have known? Yeah. She's like, I'll stand up to a CR12. I don't care. Plays, I'm gonna die. It's just gonna destroy me.
I mean, I'll enjoy them. I just won't understand them.
I just don't know what's happening right now. There's
Right.
a lot of people flipping around up there.
Look at the pretty feathers.
She's still trying to grab.
Oh,
feathers
they're
that's
not even
there.
real. This is bullshit. This is dumb.
So, just as the light, like, there's that, like, if you've ever been to a play, usually during intermissions, there's like a sound music that plays that basically says, return to your seats, shut up, it's about to start again. And so, just as that's going off and starting to happen, I'd like everybody to give me a perception check. However, no one has said that they were looking for anything suspicious. So you all need to give me a perception check with disadvantage. And for our Harrigan friend, double disadvantage.
All right, not bad. 20.
Damn. Oh,
Wow.
never mind. 22.
Wow. Holy shit.
9.
All right, so let's go through this. But I'm sorry, Mike. Can you say your character's name again? I don't have it on, so I. Oh yeah, Mirajor. Am I saying it right? Mirajor.
Sure.
All right. If that's wrong, send me phonetics and I'll work on it this week. But Mirajor, you're out. Obscurity.
And I'm just going to change it to piss you off.
Every week is a different word. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's fine. You got snot bubbles. You're asleep. Obscurity. You with disadvantage don't see anything. Savenus, you don't see anything because you're still backstage. I mean, you see the hubbub of the performance happening around, and you realize that there is one more that you expected to play. Nim, with a 22, you see it. Kane, You do not. And then Moruk, you still with us?
Oh yeah, I got a 3.
Oh shit!
Nat
I
1.
didn't even see it, but
He's
okay.
been staring at his feet the whole
He's
time.
just like he's got a book and he's just
He's
staring
been
at it.
counting the
He's just, that's
toes.
it.
He lost count after
So-
2.
He's
so
reading
now-
the book version of the play.
Yeah, he's like, this is way better. The book is way better. It's just like going to see a movie store. Anyways,
Always is.
Nim,
Right.
you see as the lights start to go down, a person has emerged from behind you guys. And as you kind of like, I'm assuming it's one of those things where, you know, you feel like you get that sensation where you notice something, and as you turn to, because you're like, you feel or sense motion, you see that this figure is already starting up the spiral staircase back up to the main deck. But with that perception check, you see that it's Giorgio, but he's not wearing the costume he's been wearing, Toteth Topek. You notice something else, and that is he's wiping blood off of his hands. The lights start to go down.
I grab
hear-
obscurity
You
and
hear the hatch start to
tell her
close.
about that.
Okay, and you're like, hey, somebody had blood on their hands. And it's like, and somebody else is like, shut up, it's starting. What do you guys do?
I bolt after him.
All right, so here's how I want to do this. Nim, this is a lot like in the house, right? So like, we're not gonna all run upstairs at the same time because you said you told obscurity this.
Yes. Yes. I specifically I told her.
Okay, obscurity, you're a fucking mutant that can move with this. I mean, I'm sorry, the rabbit might be able to outpace you. I don't know yet. We're gonna have to discover that just because it's a rabbit. But you start.
I'm slipping in my snot bubbles.
I'm gonna say, get to
I
the
can
top,
keep up with the rabbit.
and I can keep up with that. You get to the top and realize that the hatch is closed, as it's not locked, so you can start to open it. I'm gonna say that in this moment, Nim, if you want to try to say something to anyone else, feel free. But I think we're gonna have to start to get into something at this point. It is 11:15, and I really want to see this go down. But I also realize it's 11:15, so you guys tell me what you want.
I vote break.
Yeah, so I mean, I will just say, like, to the rest of them as I'm running up. It's like, main actor had blood on his hands upstairs.
Okay. So I think that what I will do is I'm going to take obscurity, I'm going to put you upstairs, obscurity, so you, I think, will be able to see this. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay. Obscurity, can you see upstairs?
Not real well.
Well, I mean, there's stuff blocking sight, but I think
Oh,
you should.
okay. Okay,
So-
then yes.
Okay. And so you see upstairs some stuff that we can get into next week. We jump back into this. But it looks
Do I
like
see the individual whom I was following?
that is this cat down here.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like he is doing something at some sort of magical mechanical desk.
Okay.
But you also see some other stuff that's going down. So
Okay.
in the classic words of somebody somewhere, shit's about to go down. I will also say that so Venice, from where you're at, because you rolled as high as you did, you notice that at least one of your teammates has started to run up the stairs. So if you want to sort of just abandon the play and go help them, you can, but it's going to take some time to get there. Plus, it might create a little bit of a turmoil because, it's not often that the players just run off the stage in the middle of it. So.
A true thespian knows the play must go on.
Yeah, I was going to stay with the play in order to at least maintain less confusion in the hall.
Okay.
So.
This is my break, guys. Do not fuck this up for me.
This is my moment. My moment. But yeah, so I know that there was a lot of stuff to get through tonight. I didn't know how soon we'd get to this, but you guys have entered into the 4th phase of this book, and there are only 5 phases. So we're almost we're working our way through book 3 already right now. I hope you guys are still having fun. I hope that this is a good time. Next week we'll dive into combat. There's a bunch of stuff that's see what happens from there. Any other questions, comments, concerns, and also, Chris, any updates that you want to share?
I'm sorry?
Any updates that you would like to share with regards to level 8 in your character?
It didn't really do anything, just gave me hit points.
Okay, cool. All right. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
I don't think so.
All right.
I got nothing.
Yeah, it's we're good. We're set up.
Good night, guys.
We're about to go mess some guys up.
Night.
So,
All right.
Have a good
Later,
night,
guys.
guys. Pleasure always.
Cool. Thanks for playing, everybody. Kevin, quick question. Did you have a response to the question I asked? I sent you last night.
right. I was thinking about that, but only briefly. Let's see.
Like when I read the description of the Twilight domain for the cleric, it basically is like it provides protection against the horrors of the night or something like that. And with the picture that you sent of like that scythe with like the eyeball on it and everything, it made me think like, do you fight? Does Thanos fight the darkness for its or help its practitioners like be part of the darkness by giving kind of dark powers, or like how does that go?
Let's see. So I'll go with the same sort of like mentality of what Thanatos does, where it's just kind of he just does his job, and it's his job like in like Hades and just in a mythology is just to guide those to where they're going. So I'd say it's more of a protection and
Okay.
helping and guiding in that way.
Okay. All right. Cool. I've had some thoughts for some stuff way, but I didn't want to skew it with like my own proclivities, right? Like if somebody's like, "Oh, do you want like crazy Cthulhu powers?" Yeah, every time, give them to me. I want to do
Right.
it. And so
Right. Exactly.
That's why I was like, I wanted to ask about what you saw that being. Cool. I know that I've only got 2 of you left right now, but the one thing that I didn't get a chance to mention is if anybody's ever interested in this for spellcasters, which you guys fall into this role, the book does spell out the details of a spell duel. kind of like it's in a way it's a lot like
A wizard's duel.
yeah, well, yes, it's in a lot of ways it's very akin to the idea of like a gunslinger's battle, right? Where like you're gonna quick draw and see what goes down and who gets who first. There is a spell duel mechanic that the game is built out because sometimes mages like to do this. The Lyceum is a mage school. I don't know if we're ever going to use it, but it's there if we want to explore it. So I just put that out there.
Sectum Sempra.
It's Leviosa. Leviosa.
Should we really be learning things that have such a small margin of error?
Oh, margin of error.
If we don't say this right, we explode and die. Are we teaching children this? Like, what are we doing? But
What
okay,
happened
cool.
to
But, yeah,
Hermione?
so-
Oh, we told her her fat, and she, online last night.
all right, cool.
Yep.
All right, thanks everybody, and I will
Very
chat
good.
with you all later.
Sounds good.
Peace.
Later.
So I did check out. I had sent you a quick link on that, but a quick text last night. But I checked out the VTT.
Yep. Above
and
or whatever.
It's actually pretty easy. Let me let me just exit this. Exit this. Your screen.